Hello, thank you for this purchase of the Thanksgiving Division Digital Escape Room. I'm just going to kind of run through the clues for you so you can kind of see how this is going to work. Um, so this is the home screen. This is where your students will be typing in their answers, and this is kind of where they'll navigate to the next clue until they're finally on to clue 5, and they can set Tommy free from his pen. So this first green box is just kind of setting up the problem that Tommy is trying to escape, um, escape the farm before Thanksgiving dinner. And so the first person Tommy talks to is Sammy the Scarecrow, and he basically gives them a division word problem right here. About his daughters needing buttons, and he wants them all to have the same amount. So they would figure that out. And right here it says, how many buttons can Sammy the Scarecrow give each of his daughters? If you type the wrong answer, it will not let you go forward. So the correct answer, I believe, is 66. And they'll push next. And you see how like this screen stayed the same, except this and the bottom changed. And this is kind of where they're going to type all their clues. So it just says, thanks for helping me. And then they'll click this link, and you'll see that you're going to open a lot of tabs at the top. So it's just easier, I think, once they finish a tab, um, to try to close it, except for this screen. They always want to have this screen open because this is where they're going to type all their answers. This is kind of like the anchor for this activity. So they're going to read this little thing from Willy the Worm, and then they've got this secret message to decode, and it is, I believe, 680 divided by 4. 680 divided by 4, they would do that, and type it in. Sorry, I forgot to write down the answers. Okay. Is 170. So if they type the wrong thing, it won't work. 170. Next. Okay, same thing as last time, like a thank you, and then there's another link. So this would be like where I would say, like, hey, students, you're done with the secret message. You can exit out of that tab just to try to keep it cleaner for students who kind of get confused with all the open tabs. So Leah the Lamb is going to kind of set up this next one, and basically they have to put together this jigsaw puzzle. And then when you're finished, it looks like this. 241 divided by 9. So once they solve that, that is one that is going to have remainders. Oops. Divided by 9 is 26. And now look how I do the remainder. Lowercase r, 7, no spaces. Again, if you put the wrong answer, it's not going to work. Okay, awesome. She gives you the link to the next one. Now this is the only one that's a little bit different, and just to try to be different, the kids kind of get tired of the same thing. Greg the Groundhog asked them to find the quotient, so there's that vocabulary word there. The quotient of 621 and 2, it's going to have a remainder, obviously. And so all of these numbers are meant to confuse them. So if they click on the wrong answer, it's going to kind of take them to this silly screen, and they have to go back. Eventually, they should solve it, actually solve it on their paper and find 310 remainder 1 right here in the bottom left corner. And then they'll say, oh, wow, that's right, great. Type the answer to get the final clue. So 310 remainder 1 was the answer. And push next. All right, and we're at our final clue, and this is my favorite one. This is so fun. The kids love it. The groundhog says, I can't just give you the code, so here's like one final clue. Your students need to make a copy. And this might take a little bit, and that's okay. So basically it's fact families, and they type in the correct answer here. And if it's right, some part of the picture will load. If it's wrong, nothing happens, and that's how they know, like, oh, that's not the right fact family, the right answer. And then I wrote here at the bottom, when you get the code back, my zoom's a little out, sorry. When you get the code back and when you get the code, go back and type it in to open the pen. So this is the last code they need to free Tommy. So they would start doing it. 18 divided by 2. You see how part of it popped up? 90 divided by 10. This should all be fact families that they should have memorized. Hopefully, right? We worked so hard on the multiplication facts. And now it's time to transfer that into division. 11, 4, 9, 7, 8, 4. You can see it's starting to form a turkey. 8, 12, 9. I'm even forgetting them. I'm so 32 divided by 8 is 4. 12 divided by 1, 100. And just to try to be tricky, I threw that one in there. And they'll see the code is 1620. And they'll come back here and they'll type 1620. Hooray, you helped Tommy, he's free. So that is kind of, that is exactly what your students will be doing. Just some tips about like internet usage. If your school typically has broadband issues or slow loading, I would suggest putting students in groups of 2 and only having one computer for them, just to kind of like lessen your broadband and just trying to make it go faster. Luckily, everything except for this final part is in this website. So there shouldn't be too many problems loading the website. The only issue you might have is right here, where they have to make a copy if your internet's lagging. But other than that, thank you so much for your purchase of this product, and happy Thanksgiving.